10 toes, that's my MO. Fam over gram, that's my MO. With close friends, I got friends that I keep close and they let it go while I reload. Like, bow, bow, bow. TSA just opened my book bag up and my chain hitting like, bow, 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 bow. The King's back in his hometown when them wheels hit and I touch down, they bow, bow, bow. She down low.
We're here.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Derby Crown Report. I said welcome back as if this isn't the first time we are putting our faces in front of this camera and talking about the Louisville Kings.
Oh, my goodness.
I talked about it as if this is the first time. Now, how crazy is it, though? The first podcast episode, the first time we're finally able to get here, Zay, we're recapping a championship run.
Say it again, Cam.
We're recapping a championship run. First championship for the Louisville Kings in the UFL. Louisville's football team, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we have a lot to talk about. Yes, because this is the first time we're talking about anything regarding the Louisville Kings on this podcast. Now, an overview of this podcast, this will just be something in which all year-round, off-season, regular season, that's about all there is. There's no in between those two things. So both the offseason and the regular season, though, we will be covering the Louisville Kings and bringing you all coverage, analysis, opinions, and a whole bunch of whatnot about the Louisville Kings. Zay, how are you feeling right now?
I feel elated. It's like, I don't have a kid, but if I were to have a kid, if I just saw my kid win like his little league championship, like in his first year of playing football, this is exactly how I would feel. The level of support that you see from the Louisville Kings fan base in its first year, which I honestly, genuinely think propelled us to win this ring this very first season, not other than coaching and players, of course, but the fan base and the craze around the city for the Kings is just genuinely something that's very eye-opening to me.
Well, I don't think there's any other way you can twist it. To start off 0-3. No team now. Most fan bases, starting off 0-3, especially in a league like the UFL, where a lot of people look at it as secondary or the B League, whatever you want to call it. It's obviously not the NFL. Majority of fan bases would tap out. They would tap out and they would back off. But we did not have a single home game this year in which we went under 10,000 fans.
Oof.
Had the second highest average attendance in the entire league-wide.
Yes, sir.
And for a first-year team, that is unbelievable. Now, let me ask you this, Zay. As a whole, what do you think this means for the city of Louisville? Now, of course, it is just a UFL team. It's not an NFL team. But yet, Louisville rallies around even its minor league teams. We've seen that with the Bats. We've seen that with our college teams. Obviously, it's not major league professional teams, but you would think so with the turnout that we have. And so, obviously, not numbers-wise, but the way we fill seats. What do you think this means for the city as a whole?
Well, you genuinely took a point I was going to use, which was the fact that we had 10,000 fans for every single home game this year, which was, when I saw it, I was genuinely just like surprised, but not too surprised because going to the last two home games, I felt the support. When you got guys in face paint for a minor league game, it just shows you how passionate people really are about this team already. And I think we've always been a city to where we could have potentially one day a NBA team. I think that would be the more likely scenario for us. But, just on the off chance, what this shows is that we are a city that would truly welcome a professional team.
We're a city that shows up.
Yes.
That's what it is. We're a city that shows up.
Even the Kings fans traveling to the DC game that I saw this week, I wish we could have been ones to attend, but just seeing the Kings fan that filled even that stadium let me know this is a city that will travel for its team.
Yes. And being a fan that traveled to a game this year, traveled to the Columbus Aviators game in Columbus. Now, shout out Zachary Lee for the tickets. You're a real one. But being a fan that traveled, I got to see it firsthand. There was a lady there passing out crowns to everybody. The fans were all together. It's like, and like I said, shout out Green Guy as well. My guy Green Guy, who did travel, I believe, to the championship game. If not the championship, no, to the St. Louis playoff game. But shout out Green Guy. You're a real one too. Just to see everybody, the way everybody's rallied around this team, it's been unbelievable. It's been absolutely unbelievable. And for this reason, I think that Louisville is the blueprint and model city. I think Mike Rapoli, the businessman who obviously is the face of the league right now, I think he would agree Louisville is the model team. We need more cities that have these little 10 to 15,000 capacity stadiums that they can fill, that can be a nice product on TV where the fans will show up as well.
And engage.
Yes, we need more of these cities in the league because the league, this is just the start. I mean, this year was a breath of fresh air. And of course, I'm biased. It's the first year that Louisville had a team, and I'm a diehard Kings fan. But I can say that there's a breath of fresh air in the league right now. The ratings are off the roof as opposed to previous years. And there's a lot of momentum for this league moving forward. Now, Zay, what cities, let's just give 2 to 3 cities that you would like to see a UFL team. Now, we know that in 2028, the league will be expanding from 8 teams to 10 teams. One of those expansion teams being the Oklahoma City team, which will play at their new stadium they just created. Russell Westbrook was there for the whole announcing or whatever of the what do they do whenever they start building on it or whatever, when they're about to finish building on it. But they got a brand new multi-purpose stadium that's about in that range. I forgot exactly how many, but it's somewhere in the teens, thousands capacity. So I think Oklahoma City is a great choice. I think they're going to show up. They show up for Oklahoma Sooners football. They showed up for OKC, obviously in basketball. And so I think it's a perfect choice. But what are some other cities? Obviously,
I think it's something I just thought about on the spot, but I genuinely think it would be one of the best teams is Virginia, a city in Virginia. I think they very much support their college team very well. I think smaller market cities, bigger cities and smaller markets can like, and in a what's the word for it? Just a smaller state, can really flourish in fan bases. I also think one of the Carolinas, maybe in South Carolina more than North Carolina. I think place in South Carolina.
That's my number one choice.
Would be a great
Greenville or somewhere around there in South Carolina. Just even as a spot for visiting fans to come and visit Myrtle Beach or whatnot. It would be a perfect choice in South Carolina, Charleston, anywhere around that area, if they have the stadium for it. How close is Washington, D.C. to Virginia?
It can't be more than 4 to 5 hours if I want to.
I thought it's like somewhere in that area.
I want to say it's in a 6-hour driving radius at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was somewhere close to Virginia. It might be in the same. I don't know.
Carolina is definitely close to Virginia. If I'm not a geographic major,
I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the concept of bringing more teams to cities that already have an NFL team. I just don't like it. I don't like the Dallas Renegades. I get it. They haven't been that terrible. I think they just became the Dallas Renegades. Mm-hmm. I think before this they were somewhere else. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not a big fan of having a team in Dallas or them bringing a team to New York. I don't know who in New York would show up for a UFL team. I know they show up for everything. I know. And they probably would shock me. They probably would fill a stadium. But I just don't know why you wouldn't go to these cities like Louisville, like Oklahoma City, cities that are hungry for major professional teams or professional teams in general that have the fans for it. Boise, Idaho.
Boise was a great one.
Put a team in Boise, Idaho. That'd be a beautiful destination as well for a UFL team. But that's neither here nor there. I can't wait to see if the league can hit Rapoli's goal of 16 teams by 2035. That'd be beautiful if they did, and eventually he wants to get it up to 32 teams. Would be even better, obviously, but in order to do that, you need sustainable markets, you need sustainable teams, sustainable stadiums that can go for the long haul. I think they're going to end up moving the Birmingham Stallions because of their decline as of late. They're an iconic franchise in the league, but I still think they're going to end up getting moved, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I think Oklahoma City is a great choice that they're doing. I think my prediction is that the other team that they'll do in 2028, other than Oklahoma City, is they will bring back the Michigan Panthers.
Ooh.
I think Columbus being a team, I believe they're going to try to recreate that professionally, that Ohio State-Michigan animosity. And I think that, although I think we'd be a great candidate as a rival for Columbus, the distance is there. We both came in the same year, all these other things. Columbus, by the way, shout out the Columbus Aviators fans because they showed up this year too. They wasn't like the Kings, but they did show up in big numbers as well, consistently throughout the year, as did the Orlando Storm, surprisingly enough. The Orlando Storm fans also showed up and showed out. A bit of inconsistency.
And defenders. Just
now, the defenders, that team now, the defenders are a staple in this league. Shout out the DC Defenders and their fans. There's one really weird fan named Josh on Twitter, and I won't get into him. He deleted all his tweets, and I'm glad he did, so I don't have to talk about him too much. But
give us a little rundown because I didn't know about this.
Well, let me tell you this. If you watch the championship game, Mr. Roberson, all right, Derek Roberson, great player, probably second best defensive player in the league behind Cam Gill, our own edge rusher. Derek Roberson's a great player. Middle of the game, they're up 3-0. and the camera goes to him on the sideline, and he talks about the hit he had on Chandler Rogers from weeks back. And he said, yeah, I tattooed his ass. Yeah, you know what I did? Here, I got a card to give him. He had a card. He said, I got a card to give him when I... And then he lost the game. For the third time to Chandler Rogers, he lost a game. And so I tweeted something that said, I tweeted a picture of it. This is post-game. I tweeted a picture of it, and I said, this is a picture of at Derek Roberson. I added him. Flexing a tackle from a previous L in the middle of taking a third L to the same team. This is generational runner-up flex work. That's what I said. He took his tag off of the post and then posted something on his own Twitter, Derek Roberson did, saying, all the stuff y'all saying, you won't say it to my face. This is minutes after I posted that.
Right.
So I know he saw it. I can't add him. I tried to add him again. He won't let me.
Probably blocked you.
He didn't even block me. He just took away my I can't tag him in nothing. It's weird. Like I can still see. Maybe he did block me. I don't know. But so one of his fans though commented on it and said you would never say it to his face. Something else. And then I said, anyways, we went back and forth. He went back and forth with another Kings fan. I told him I'm so scared of him because he was like, oh man. I'm like, whatever, dude. You know, he's a Defenders fan, a Packers fan. But that's neither here nor there, all right? But shout out Josh. He deleted all his tweets in the end of it.
All of them?
All of them. Because I made him look stupid because I'm not going to go, oh, no, I'll beat you up in real life. It's Twitter,
it's
you know
Twitter,
what I mean? Or it's X, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, shout out the Defenders fans. They ride for their team. I've seen some podcasts. I've seen all kind of stuff. Like, they love that team in D.C., and you could tell by the fact that they just about sold out that stadium for that championship game. Let's be real, that was all but a home game for them. We turned out, and for it to be a 9-hour or so drive, we turned the heck out. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the Defenders are a staple in this league. I believe if you want to talk about the safest teams in this league, the St. Louis Battlehawks,
absolutely,
the D.C. Defenders, the Louisville Kings, those three specifically, I think we are going nowhere at all. I think we are the cornerstones of this league. St. Louis, by the way, like 20,000 plus almost every single game, and then our playoff game only hit 19,000. It was just weird. But neither here nor there. The St. Louis Battlehawks are keeping the numbers in attendance up for this team. From going from an NFL team to a UFL team, it makes sense. But finally, let's overview this offseason.
Yes.
What do we want to see entering this offseason? By the way, shout out Coach Chris Redmond.
I was just about to say, Cam, before we go into the offseason, let's just talk. Let's just talk a little bit about that finishing stretch. As you said at the start of the video, we were a team that was 0-3 at the beginning of this year. And when we were 0-3, I'm not even going to lie to you. Of course, you're 0-3, that doubt creeps in your mind. Man, we finally get a professional team, and here we go. We suck. And then, of course, changes happen over the year. Quarterbacks we started with. What do you think was the true turning point of this season?
I know, and I think all of us know that what won us this championship even, it was not any specific, I wouldn't even say specific player, one player or specific coach,
definitely not.
But it was after going, I think it was 0-3 or no, it was after going we was 1-3 at the time, right. 1-3 or 1-4, something of that nature. A few games into the season, and I should remember this off the top of my head, but you get kind of cloudy after because 10 games, you focus on all the games. And then they just get kind of,
especially towards the end when you go on that run of brilliance.
But somewhere after those first few games, Chris Redmond looked himself in the mirror, and he said, and I don't fully know if this is 100% his jurisdiction, but I would think as the head coach of a league-owned franchise, the league owns all these teams, so there's no owner. I would think he had a lot to say in this. To trade Jason Bean, your starting quarterback who was supposed to be this uber talented. And he does have a lot of talent. But it was so clear that it just wasn't working out. The slide before the touchdown, all these things, he just wasn't cutting it. But trading Jason Bean and getting rid of Benny Snell for James Robinson,
oh my God,
that saved our season. Chandler Rogers and James Robinson, I would argue, saved our season. I know Ian Wheeler was unbelievable. He's probably going to go to the league.
He got better, but he was better late.
And he was also better because I do think it's easy to say that a lot of teams might have took their foot off the gas when they saw Robinson wasn't in. Robinson still could be playing in the NFL today. I don't think he'd be a starter necessarily. He's not in the same shape he was in Jacksonville.
That's his biggest problem.
But Robinson is a monster. Mm-hmm. He's a monster. And we'll be lucky to have him back. But, yeah, I think that trading Bean and starting Rodgers saved the season. Not to mention, of course, like I said, getting rid of Snell, which, like I said, that's a hard move as a coach. He knew all the BBN fans that are Louisville Kings fans, because make no mistake about it, there are Louisville and Kentucky fans that are fans of this team.
Absolutely.
He knew the Kentucky fans are going to be like, WTF are you doing, dude? You already released Lynn Bowden before the season started.
Which the fans were very upset about.
And now Benny Snell, who happens to be like the fan, kind of like the face of the team almost at the time. He was the guy who, at the inaugural game, was hyping the crowd up and stuff. You're going to release that guy. But that was a identity defining moment, because Chris Redman, I believe, and he said this himself in a podcast with Brown, the guy who writes for the Courier Journal. He said, I'm going to go old school, and I'm getting rid of guys that are not good locker room guys that are me guys over team guys, and I'm going to take a gamble on a guy like Chandler Rogers, who, from the outside looking in, has no business being in the position he's in. I mean, was not even a starter at Cal throughout college, played in North Texas, was a good quarterback in North Texas, but by no stretch of the imagination is this guy like a layup of a pick for a quarterback, but he's the right kind of guy for your locker room. He's a leader of men, and he makes the right decisions. He's like the black Brock Purdy. The guy he doesn't have the craziest arm in the world, but dang it, he manages the game correctly. He's mobile as well.
Some of the best scrambles you'll see this whole out of the UFL the entire season.
Chandler Rogers is him. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the guy that, like, and he's gonna get a shot at the NFL. I don't know if he'll last. I hope he does. I'm rooting for him, and but I don't know if he'll find a backup spot. I think he could be a third string guy. I think he'll be a practice squad guy if he wants to.
Yeah.
But he knows that in the spring he has the Louisville Kings to come back to, and that's kind of what I want to talk about next in regards to the offseason. Not everything, but just who on this team stood out to you this season, and who do you think's going to the league, and who do you think may come back that you want back?
First name I want to discuss, even though I think you'll get into Cam Gill a little more, obviously being the star he was, being the first player to record 10 sacks in the UFL season, which is a great thing in its own. But me personally, I'm a receiver. I'm a safeties guy. I like the DB section. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk about Isaiah Whitaker. The rack on this man was ridiculous. What I saw from him late, I will be very honest when I say during the first couple of games, maybe the first 4, I wasn't fully invested in the Kings. Catching the highlights, not really as invested as I think I would have liked to been. But from game 4 on, very invested. Everything I saw from Isaiah Whitaker.
Who is Isaiah Whitaker?
Number 11.
Oh, Isaiah Winstead.
Oh, yeah. Got the wrong name.
You're talking about offense.
Winstead.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah. Isaiah Winstead.
Isaiah Winstead. Just an amazing player. Truly, from every game I saw, making key catches at every single point. Third down, just a monster on third down. Like I said, monster run after catch player. I could see, practice squad, maybe low-level NFL starter, truthfully from him. Tariq Black, also, the first game I went to, we were playing the DC Defenders. It was our second game, and I'm just sitting here on the stands, and I'm just saying, hey, why are we running the ball so much? We have a monster out here on the outside throwing the ball and continue to make plays throughout the year. Ian Willer, another player who, like you said, I think he'll actually be on an NFL roster, and I think he'll be on an NFL roster for the entire season. I think he'll be a backup somewhere if he can get into camp pretty quickly. People have been getting signed as recently as today from these UFL rosters. So
yes, Hakeem Butler on the St. Louis Battlehawks going to the Denver Broncos. I think skill positions are going to be a hot commodity. Obviously, kickers.
Whew, yes, please.
The UFL UFL to NFL kicker pipeline is rolling. I think Tanner Brown is absolutely a shoe-in for a starting position on an NFL team if the opportunity presents itself.
Which it will.
That guy, I mean, when I don't want to say he saved our season either, because it wasn't one player, but there are times where it's like, if we did not have that guy's leg
kicking and went like
on
just
our side,
keeping you into games, because a lot of times our offense starts slow, and he's keeping us in with 3 and 4 point plays.
Make no mistake about it. Tanner Brown is a G. Tanner Brown is going to be on an NFL roster entering next year, and I'm so glad that we had him for as long as we did.
Absolutely.
I think that it is a huge win for the Louisville Kings entering next season if we can keep one of Isaiah Winstead, Lucky Jackson, and Tariq Black.
I think
if we enter the season just keeping one of those three, even one of those three, I think Lucky has the potential to be a fan favorite for years if he decides to stay being a WKU guy who has an easy name to remember, number 0 as well. But if we could keep even just one of those three, like I said, I'm ecstatic. God bless you.
Thank you.
Chandler Rogers. I think Chandler Rogers will be the Louisville Kings quarterback in their second season
Bring him back
in the UFL. I think Chandler Rogers will be back. I think the offense will be built around him. That is my opinion. Another thing, if we somehow keep one of Robinson or Wheeler, very unlikely to me because I think they will find their way on NFL rosters. But if we keep either one of those two, another W, another huge W.
Now the cornerbacks though, because I think
defensively,
I think when I really look at our defense, as much as Gil did to dominate the defensive line, I'd say our run defense, the trenches, which is it's expected in this league that the line, the front sevens won't be as strong.
Shout out Travis Bell, big guy in the middle on defense. Travis Bell, another guy I would love to have back, a nose tackle that I just heard his name all the time. And Bronson as well, another D tackle that if you look into him, he was a big fella in the middle that was keeping us together throughout the season. I think Cubits, 36, our linebacker, as well as Jaheim Thomas, two linebackers that I think held down the fort all year. The defense as a whole, to be completely honest with you, I think was better than the offense. Now,
absolutely.
This team, though, as a whole, was legendary to me. I mean, I think we would look back and be like, we were so lucky with this team to be given a team like this practically because the coaches don't have too much say over roster construction. To be given a team like this, we are so blessed to have an offensive line that the way we had that you see two guys go down in this championship game and we still hold it together, entering the second half in a deficit and still coming back to win the game. I mean, Chris Redmond has built a culture here that if we can bring it into next year, Chris Redmond, Steve Logan as OC, I think that if we can enter next year with the same coaching staff, that's the number one thing we must retain. The culture will be intact, and whoever they bring in, I will trust that Chris Redmond will trim the fat off of everybody else. My one thing with Chris Redmond after we went 0-3 was I felt like he might be too nice of a guy. Chris Redmond is like he goes to Southeast Christian, very close to where I live currently. He is just a man of God. You see videos of them praying after the games. I say, that's my team right there. Now that's my team and that's my coach. It wasn't my coach when we was 0-3, and we all owe Chris Redmond an apology for that. The way that Louisville Kings fans reacted, we kind of threw in the towel, at least on Twitter and on social media, but we still showed up. And I pray that, God forbid, we enter next year with a few losses or whatnot. I pray that we continue to show up and show everybody that we're going to be a staple. This is year one we won the championship.
This is year one, and that's why I wanted to just kind of piggyback off of.
Yes.
Because this was year one. To start off 0-3, finish 6-4, almost get a home playoff game. Now that would have been amazing. We were a little unfortunate, but I would have loved to be there in the stadium. I would have figured out any way possible to be there for that playoff game.
Amen.
But I believe with going in, if you have Redmond, and you get Rodgers to start the season, I just think that's the foundation.
Yes.
To start. I believe next
year. And they
year,
have a great chemistry.
Next
you can
year,
see it.
I just don't believe, even with roster turnover, I believe whoever we get, Redmond will figure it out to where at some point we're going to be back in the playoffs again. There's no way we're not one of those 4 teams not in the dance next year. We're in the it was truly spectacular. Shout out again. Hold on, just quick. Hold on, let me make sure I get his name right. I'm not good with all the names just yet. But the fumble knockout from Ellis.
Oh my, Keaton Ellis,
and I want to make sure I shot Corey Mayfield,
and Keaton Ellis, Cam Dantzler,
and Eric Garr.
Yes, Eric Garr number 7, Cam Dantzler number 3, Corey Mayfield Jr. number 12. Our secondary we need some kind of. It's not Legion of Boom. We need some kind of other nickname. For this team, I mean, it was this secondary all year. Cam Dantzler with the interception in this game.
Oh my God, the interception!
And Cam Dantzler was a guy that in the Columbus game, I watched him clock a dude so hard. I mean, it was unbelievable what I saw him do, but it showed how much he cared. And then he gets on Twitter and kind of has a backhanded apology. That's what I like, though. I don't want you to fully apologize because you're not really sorry. He meant to defend his teammate the way he did. Cam Dantzler, Corey Mayfield Jr., Eric Garr. Keaton Ellis is a
love
guy
it.
that entered the season. You heard his name a lot as a guy that could make a lot of impact. He didn't have the impact that everybody might have expected instantly because there's so many guys.
He made his plays when
that
he
fumble,
did.
that
game changer.
Golly.
Absolutely game changer.
I tweeted after that happened, I said that might have just won us a championship. Before we even had a lead, I knew the momentum considering momentum and what that touchdown would have done for the defenders, that play in itself might have won us a championship. Not a great game from Chandler Rogers. 9 for 17, two picks. Not a great game at all from him. But the way that you see this Kings team, it's like the moral of the season. You fight back, you fight back, you fight back. Could not be more proud to be a Louisville Kings fan. Could not be more proud to see this inaugural season in the way that we saw it from our perspective. It was unbelievable, and I think there's a lot more to come. Lynn Family Stadium is not going anywhere.
Absolutely not.
I think they're already saying somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 season tickets sold entering next year. By November, we might have 10,000 season tickets sold, something like that, something crazy. I mean,
you getting yours? Because I may have to get mine.
Absolutely, they're not even that much. I already looked at the prices. They're already not. Yeah. No, I'll be there, and I can't wait to see what we do. But yeah, anything else you have to say to recap this Louisville Kings season, the inaugural season? Get it out, get it off.
I am so happy to be a fan. I'm actually more like, it's so much different than being a professional sports fan that like where it's just not in your, like, a lot of people can say whatever. I love where I live. I love Louisville.
Me too.
I was born and raised here. This is my home. So like I said, like you just said, Kentucky fans, I see like a few people from Indiana, everyone just fully embracing the Louisville Kings, even more so than the Bats have been here for a while. I mean, they've been here for so long. A lot of people, I don't ever hear somebody, let's go to a Bats game.
Yeah,
the amount of people that would text me every single week or every other week, hey, you trying to go to the Kings game? Did you watch the Kings game?
When we went to our game, I got friends text me saying, I just saw you on the big screen.
I didn't
even know y'all was here. I didn't even know people are really pulling up for the Louisville Kings. And let me tell you, this team just feels so Louisville. I know when they came out and they announced the team, people were complaining about the logo. People were saying it's too much like DraftKings. People were saying that there's already a horse team with the Stallions in the league. The identity already has been created in such a way that feels so Louisville. Chris Redman at coach, playing in Lynn Family Stadium.
The color scheme.
Everything. I mean, just everything. The literal fleur de lis as the sword on the shoulder. This team is just so Louisville. And as you said, I couldn't be more proud. I think that it feels so different being such a big fan of like a team that isn't in a major league, because the media can't snatch your team and take it for itself. It feels like, and it's about football. Like I'm watching these games and I'm like, it's about football. There's not many storylines.
No, it's not narratives. There's not this player needs to win this ring to be this,
or else their season doesn't matter.
Yeah, like
does the season matter?
Just ball. It's like
just ball.
It's like going to watch like your homie play in his favorite it's one of the big high school games where you just go and you see the stadium's packed out, and it's because everybody is there to really root for the team and the players. They're not there for the outside noise.
And you got to be a real football fan to pull up, too. It's
absolutely.
This ain't just I'm showing up for the cloud. I mean, you see the New York Knicks win this finals. Tons of New York fans out in the street. Probably only about 70% of them
are actually
New York fans. The other 30% are just there because it's lit.
It's New York.
Yeah, it's New York.
And they haven't been able to celebrate something of that magnitude.
Yes, the people celebrating this championship win are Louisville Kings fans, and they are fans of Louisville sports, and they are football fans, by Gonnet. And, I mean, everything about this team. I mean, even the choice of naming them the Kings. Like, I think everything about it just feels Louisville, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. I think this is...
And shout out that, because I will say... The assist of being the Louisville Kings gave you one of the best. This is actually one of the best podcast named shows I've seen. Like just in podcast space.
Yeah.
Like the Derby Crown Report, the Derby, obviously everyone who's from Louisville, anybody who's from Kentucky knows how important the Derby is. The Crown, Kings, it just all goes together. This will be something I'm a fan of for my entire life. As long as the Louisville Kings are here, I will be a Louisville Kings fan. And I will be a Louisville Kings supporter through and through. I will be at games.
Yes.
I will.
Same to me. Same with me. I don't care if there's
team forever.
And God forbid, I don't think this will happen at all. There's no indicators to say this will happen. But if there's ever a decline in attendance, I will be one of the people in that empty stadium.
Oh, absolutely.
I will be one of the people. I don't care what we go through. And by the way, I'm in the Louisville Kings Facebook group as well. Shout out the guy that mid-season got a tattoo of the Kings on his leg and had
He's
a bunch
boss.
of people telling him, had a bunch of people saying he's crazy, had a bunch of people saying there's something wrong with him. And look now, he can add champions to that tattoo. So shout you out, man. I should find your name, but shout you out.
And that's another. Don't be afraid to be that big of a fan of any team, but especially if you love it, go ahead and become a fan.
They ain't ready to see the kingdom. I
Kingdom.
have my whole room look like the Kings. It's painted the walls green. I'm going all out. This is my team. Like already after one season, I genuinely feel like my love for this team. Now, obviously, there hasn't been as many experiences. It hasn't been as much history with them yet.
Right, of course.
But my love for the team, how much I love the team.
It's already at 10, man.
I mean, it already transcends a lot of my love for my other teams.
Absolutely.
My other teams that I've loved for years. It's like, and this is 1 year. So, like, you know, I think that, like what you said to start the pod, the fan support has so much to do with going from 0-3 to a championship.
Absolutely.
Because any other team that starts 0-3 in the UFL, their fans are tapping out. We did not have a single digit thousands game attendance-wise this year. Not a single one.
And
Every time the Kings came to play in Lynn Family Stadium, there was more than 10,000 fans.
Absolutely. And like when you're 0-3, sometimes you don't even have a reason to come to the games. And like you said, we didn't give up. I saw by the end of the season, when you see people in the stands for a UFL game take their shirt offs and wave them around,
That's what I'm saying.
and really start, you know,
That's what I
either
said.
whether it's like I'll share this story because it has to do with the DC Defenders during our second game. When you see fans truly taking a player on the field out of his game by screaming, "One, you suck." I don't even know if he made a play in this game, but he will forever, because it's probably as big as he's ever going to be. Number one for DC Defenders, whatever your name is. Remember, the Louisville fans cooked you immensely. Had him on the sideline crashing out. I called the crash out before he even crashed out. But to see a stadium of fans screaming, "One, you suck." I haven't seen that in any venue, not NBA. Haven't heard one player heckled as bad as the Louisville Kings did to number one on the Defenders.
Yeah.
And then and there,
dude,
I
that's
decided,
the beautiful thing about Lynn Family Stadium is you're right there.
Oh, yes.
Like you see, you know, even us at the Renegades game, we're like, is that Taco Charlton?
Oh, my goodness.
It's Taco
Taco Charlton
Charlton.
site in 2026. I couldn't believe it with my own eyes. I thought I was
But
back.
that's an experience you don't get at
No.
an NFL game where you got to know who you're seeing because you ain't that close. You ain't seeing the last name on the back of the jersey.
Right. Absolutely.
You got to, like, we was right there.
That's how big of a football, like, bro, people who ain't either, like, that's what I do love about this. It's still recognizable name talent that, you know, just didn't pan out in the league. And I hope players in the league who are on practice
I love
squad.
it for someone like our friend Landon, who is a big Jaguars fan, has been for years. He gets to see James Robinson
Absolutely.
in person, right this close, like playing for his city and win a championship. It's been beautiful.
Reggie Bonifant, please come play for the Louisville Kings.
Reggie pulling out Louisville names now. Reggie Bonifant.
James Quick.
Let me tell you, God, I want Chris Redmond to be coach here for years and years. And years.
Of course.
But if he ever weren't to be coach, all right, my favorite athlete of all time, Teddy Bridgewater. If Teddy Bridgewater coached Louisville Kings,
Oh, my God.
you might see me butt naked in the first row of Lynn Family
Teddy-
Stadium. I'm sorry. I
Teddy,
don't
you
know.
come coach the Kings.
I
please.
thought, because before the season, they were saying former Louisville quarterback is rumored to be coaching the Kings. So I'm thinking Teddy's going to be our coach. Teddy's going to be our coach. It's Chris Redmond. I love Chris Redmond. Don't get me wrong. And even more after the season. I mean, the way he led these guys
Absolutely.
is unbelievable.
Even the
unbelievable
quote on the side of his bobblehead is ridiculously great.
Yes,
man.
like unbelievable way to lead this team. But
If we got Teddy, though.
man, if we got Teddy.
If we got
Man, if we got Teddy. And so I'm so looking forward to next season. I hope Chandler Rogers returns, like you said. I think Chris Redmond and Chandler Rogers as the quarterback coach duo is like, it can be the identity of this team
Absolutely.
for years to come. And it's not unheard of to see quarterbacks stick around. Luis Perez, who happens to be the quarterback right now of the St. Louis Battlehawks, quarterback of the Renegades for years, was known as the King of Spring or whatever. Well, there's new Kings of Spring now.
There's a new king of
There's
spring.
new Kings of the Spring. There's new Kings of the Spring, and we aren't going anywhere. Any final thoughts, Zay, before we wrap up this first episode? Man, what an episode!
What
too, by the way.
you know, I actually
You know?
and again, because we're talking about the Kings, and you know, we obviously do our other podcasts. I have just so much joy talking about this team Like,
Yeah.
I've been a Celtics fan all my life. I've been a Ravens fan for a couple years. I've been a Louisville Cardinals. Other than the Louisville Cardinals, the Kings may just be my
I'm telling you.
true fandom.
I'm telling you.
It might just, and I
Because
feel
it's your own thing too. Like, to be able to know that we're in a league like this, the UFL, that's up and coming. I think that it's about to hit its prime. Like like where Poli's playing for this league is exactly what I think anybody who has half a brain would do if they got in his position in the UFL. Go to these markets that are dying for it.
Absolutely.
Don't just go to these, like they've tried to, all these teams in these big cities
Where it's just
where they have so many major pro teams already. The reason Louisville's embraced this team the way they have is because, one, it's so Louisville, it feels like us, but two, like, we're dying for pro sports.
Absolutely.
Like you said, we might get an NBA team here in a decade, 2 decades. I think a WNBA team is even more likely because we've shown that we can show up for women's basketball. I think that they would love to put a WNBA team here, but regardless, like, we're showing that, like, this is the blueprint. Louisville is the blueprint for the UFL, and I can't wait to see what we do moving forward. There are rivalries to be built. There are going to be many more Lynn Family Stadium games in which we have many more stories to tell on this podcast.
Absolutely.
And so I hope you all stick around with us for the rest of this whole offseason. We will be here talking Kings often. This will not be something that goes away. Even though the season lasts about, 3 months or so, and it's during the spring. So we have about 9 months before we're back talking about the Kings playing a game again. But we will be here the whole offseason, through roster construction, through UFL news, regardless of what comes, we will be here. That's the point of the Derby Crown, is to keep you up to date with everything Kings. But we'll also be talking about Louisville basketball, Louisville football, Derby, horse racing. Might get into horse racing. I got a friend who wants to be the horse racing expert of the show that might call in. So this is a Louisville sports podcast at the end of the day,
and you will definitely
centered around the Kings.
See us at these games next year. I would love for fans to come. We're going to be shooting definitely some tailgating content next year. We would love.
Let me tell you, we will
love to get some.
If no one else plays their role, we will play our role and make sure that this is a year-round thing. We will play our role and make sure the Kings do not go away. I mean, this is something I want my kids to be a fan and supporter of. This is something I am fully bought in on, as is Zay, as is many other Kings fans. We love you all. Please subscribe, like, comment, etc. Follow me at The Derby Crown on X. That's at The Derby Crown on X. We look to be your number one source and your number one hangout for all things Louisville Kings. Championship run, Zay. One in the books, a season for the ages, and I can't wait to see what's next. The mayor's talking about a parade. We will be there if there's a parade. Who knows? We might get some content for you all if the parade is in our wheelhouse. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe. Let us know what else you all want to see, what other kind of content you want to see. We'll try to get some player interviews even. Just everything Louisville Kings, because this is Louisville's team. This is our team, and we are champions.
Absolutely.
We are champions. We will see you all on the flip side. Also subscribe to our other podcast, Play by Play with Cam and Zay, if you want to see major sports coverage, major college sports coverage, etc.
It won't be like this. This is the one and only podcast.
But this is our thing.
This is our thing.
This is our thing right here. This is if you know podcast right here. This is not. So this is only for the real ones. So yes, we hope to have you all back here at the Derby Crown. Louisville Kings.
Louisville Kings.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Stand
yeah.
up. Crowns up, baby.